And again, if you look into sports, they take breaks, they take rests, and that is strategically important to do that. So this is really interesting what is now, what is coming up. And I think some companies are already moving into that direction of really understanding when to make our most important decisions, you know, and how to actually kind of plan our energy and our work throughout the day to produce good results and less mistakes.
I'm very glad to hear that we should be wise from the inside, not from the external requirements and some society maybe demandings which we have, but from the inside. And I believe this book will be very interesting with the big data, with some explorations and research about that. It's very interesting for me to hear that when you're talking about that, I began to think about coaching skills, about coaching focuses of attention, for example, for coaches who work with high performance personally with people or with teams, and about professional coaching. What could you maybe advise them? What kind of focuses could be important there in their development?
That's a good question. I think it's very different when we work with individuals and we work with teams, because there are some specifics also about high performing teams, and it is not easy to become a high performing team, because you need to invest a lot of time first in planning so many things, in how you form relationships, how you communicate, how you use the diversity. And I think that is when a coach works with teams and we want to help them to be high performing, then our job is to to support them and challenge them in focusing on the right things. So having a vision, understanding where the company is going, understanding what are the resources available for them, understanding really well, the whole mission of the company. Because often the problem is when I walk into teams and I work with financial institutions and others, that if it's not a senior management team and I ask, what's your goal? Then I sometimes hear, it's to sell as much and to have this amount of money by the end of the month or the year. But they often don't know what's the vision, what's the mission. And also, that's also true that many organizations might not have that and might not emphasize, because we just run for numbers and money. So that is one of really what's the vision and the motivation. And then, it's working with teams. It's also crucial to understand what is their vision, what does a really successful high-performing team looks like for them, how they can really collaborate together and release the collective intelligence, instead of just being a group of people who do some things but they don't build on each other. And by the way, one of the mistakes companies still do, they kind of give bonuses for individual performance and not for team performance. And when this is happening, you are not getting high team performance, because you get more competition in the team than collaboration. And the individual competition in the teams doesn't help the team to be high performing team. But it's how do we kind of support each other, how we can learn together, how we can really challenge each other. That is something what's helpful. And for that, you need to build you need to build really good relationships. And when I say good, it's not about harmonious relationships. It's not about being really good friends, but having a relationship where we trust each other, where we everyone can be heard. We can build on each other's ideas. We can challenge, support each other. We can have constructive conflicts. And we can do high level thinking together. What fascinates me always that I think a lot of teams don't have good decision-making strategies, but the decisions are made either, you know, who has the strongest idea or who is the strongest voice, or by voting. And often they don't have a criteria for, you know, for a good decision. And we as coaches, we need to pay attention to that and you know, challenge them also on how do you do your good thinking, your good collaboration. And also, we should not forget that, as I said, that high performers need to improve constantly. So how do we support them in constantly improving as individuals in the team and also as a team, how they have constant learning, and how they measure that, how they know that they have learned. And that's crucial, especially, you know, when so many things are changing and you need new skills and new mindset. And by the way, we need to work with the mindset of the team, with the elephant in the room often, which is often not revealed. And we don't talk about, you know, and team members don't talk about something which probably is there, is present, at assumption or belief level. We build cultures at surface, but we often do not tap into the deeper layers, which are the historical beliefs. So that is about teams, and with the individuals, I think that I already mentioned those elements which we need to focus on. And for me personally, it is always important to work with the mindset of the people, not just with the solutions, not just, you know, what can you do, how can you do, what is your plan, but what is your best psychological state, what is your best mindset you need for that, and how can you bring that mindset, how can you change that, which is not easy, because our beliefs are kind of anatomically hardwired in our brain. There is also research about that you cannot think differently, because due to your thinking and life experience, you already have a certain brain structure, and you need to change your thinking, which will change your brain structure. And until the brain structure is not changed, until then it's quite it's not easy to have naturally the thoughts, the mindset you need to have.
And what would you wish people in the beginning of the week about high performance, whether in teams or individually, if we finalize our conversation?
Just fix promptly, because I haven't thought about that. What would I wish? But, you know, I think I would wish to really sit down and ask themselves what is really important. What do they need to focus on most, and where do they need to have undisturbed time? And what are the unrelevant things? Because those unrelevant things take often away our focus. And I think we are constantly in this doing, and sometimes it's more important to just be, and before we do, just think what is important, where I need to invest my energy, how can I recharge my energy? Because, you know, if we get fatigued, we get tired, and we just hope to get recharged in the evening, then we are running already into the danger of not doing our high quality work and high quality thinking. And also maybe just starting paying attention to when they are most creative, most, when they are at their best, when they do their best work, they are maybe most alert, they get the best decisions. And maybe playing a little bit with that what would it look like to really do the most important things in that period of time, because that is not so long. We have just a few hours when we can perform at our highest mental capability during the day. And what are the works we need to do then? Which are the meetings we have to have then, and which are the meetings we can have in the afternoon, because maybe, or not, personally for me it's afternoon when my energy and mental capability goes a little bit down. For other people it's the afternoon when they get at their highest peaks. But really, what are those periods when we have to to rethink of what do I do when? Just paying attention, I think that's the first step, because I think we don't really know how we function, and when we function at our best, when we function at our less best probably, and when we function at our worst. Does that make sense? Can you imagine yourself doing that?
I think it's very interesting, and I think it's very profound to know your personal style, when you are at the most active, when you are the most capable of something, when you are not. And my happiness is that me, like an introvert, it was the first necessary approach to become effective. I do it every day, to be honest. So, but it sounds very nice that it is so important, and I'm glad that you share that. I think it really works, and it really helps knowing yourself in that way. And I want you to thank you for this very important and interesting understanding and advices and some tools for people to be not only high performing on external way, but to be wise to present on internal way. And it reminds me one of the Soviet Union movies about, I can't remember the name, but I remember a phrase that one of the characters says that you should think not about how to live better, but about how to be better.
Yes.
So I think it sounds like that. And I want to thank you again, Leda, and we are looking forward to meeting you in Moscow on a training, holistic coaching from the 7th of February until the 9th of February on MCC coaching skills. So thank you very much, and I wish you...
And on how to work with stories, our internal stories, and how to rewrite everything.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Tatiana, and enjoy your day.
Thank you, Leda. Enjoy your day and week.
Thank you.